All right. Today, we're going to crack the code on two skills that are, and I mean this, the absolute heart of any real flowing conversation in French. Because, talking isn't just about making statements, right? It's all about that back and forth, the asking, the clarifying, the real stuff.
So, let me ask you, are you ready to go beyond just, reciting phrases from a book and actually start talking with people? That's exactly what we're breaking down today. We're going to look at the key structures that'll get you there.
And really, it all boils down to just two things. L'interrogation, which is asking questions, and la negation, making negative statements. If you can get these two down, you can handle almost any conversation. So let's jump right in with the first one, how to ask for what you need to know.
Okay, part one, asking a question. One of the coolest things about French is just how flexible it is. You can ask the very same question in a couple of different ways, all depending on who you're talking to, like a friend or maybe in a more formal situation.
So for your basic yes or no questions, just think of it like having three different flavors to choose from. First up, you've got intonation, super casual, you just raise your voice at the end. Then there's est-ce. This is your go-to, your all-purpose tool. And finally, you have inversion, which sounds a little more formal, a little more polished.
Let's see how this actually works with one simple question. Are you Irish? Okay, for that casual, friendly vibe, you just use your intonation. Vous êtes irlandais? Easy. Now, for the standard, everyday way, you just pop est-ce on the front. And if you want to sound a bit more formal, you do that little switcheroo, the inversion. Êtes-vous irlandais? See, same question, just dressed up for different occasions.
Look, yes or no questions are useful, but the real juicy conversations are in the details, right? And to get those details, you need your special information-gathering words, the French version of who, what, where, when, and why.
And here they are. This is your essential toolkit. For where, you've got où. For when, quand. For how, comment. How much or how many is combien. And of course, the big one, why, pourquoi. These are literally the keys that unlock any story.
Now, here is a classic mix-up, something that trips up so many people. It's the difference between asking about a person and asking about a thing. You gotta use qui when you mean who, like qui cherchez-vous? But if you're asking what, you use que or quoi. Que cherchez-vous? It's such a small difference in sound, but it totally changes the entire question.
Awesome. You can ask pretty much anything now. So let's master the other side of the conversation. Part 2 is all about how to say no. And it's not just about disagreeing. It's about being clear and giving accurate information.
The foundation of almost every negative sentence in French is this elegant little structure, ne pas. And honestly, the best way to remember it is to think of it like a sandwich. Seriously. Ne is the top slice of bread, pas is the bottom slice, and your verb, that's the filling, tucked right in the middle.
And here's our sandwich in action. You start with the positive. Je suis de Paris. I am from Paris. To make it negative, you just wrap that verb, suis, with ne and pas. Je ne suis pas de Paris. That's it. It's clean, it's logical, it just works.
Okay, quick tip here. This is one of those little things that will make you sound so much more natural. If your verb, the filling in your sandwich, starts with a vowel, that ne squishes down into an n with an apostrophe. It just helps the words flow together smoothly. So, n'était pas becomes the much nicer sounding n'est pas.
But hey, conversation is way more detailed than just yes and not, right? And French negation is awesome because it lets you get super specific. And the way it does it is so simple. You just swap out that bottom piece of bread, the pas, for a different word.
Check out how powerful this is. You want to say never? You just swap pas for jamais. I never drink tea. Want to say not anymore? Swap in plus. I don't smoke anymore. For nothing, you use rien, and for nobody, you use personne. The ne always stays there, but that second word gives your negation a really precise meaning. It's a fantastic system.
All right, for our last section, let's kick things up a notch. We're going to look at two more structures that will add some real nuance, some real sophistication to the way you speak. This is the good stuff.
Okay, this is a huge one. On the left, with ne pas, you have a simple no. Il ne travaille pas le lundi. He doesn't work on Mondays. Simple. But look what happens on the right when you swap pas for que. The whole meaning flips. Il ne travaille que le lundi means he only works on Mondays. It's not saying no, it's setting a limit. It's a restriction.
So let's lock this in. Ne que simply means only.
that's it. I know it looks like a negation because you see that ne, but it's not. It just puts a boundary around the action. Je ne dors que 6 heures doesn't mean I don't sleep. It means my sleep is limited to only 6 hours.
And last but not least, what if you need to say no to a whole list of things? Well, French has this super efficient structure for that. Ne, ni, ni. This is your neither nor. So instead of saying, I don't have a pen and I don't have a notebook, you can just say it all in one smooth sentence. Je n'ai ni stylo, ni cahier. I have neither one nor the other.
And there you have it. That's really the core of it. From 3 ways to ask a question to that whole family of negations, you now have the essential tools for a real, dynamic, 2-way conversation. So I guess the only question left is, now that you have all this, what's the first thing you want to ask?